Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Charles from Smoked Outdoors. I want to go over this nose jammer stuff a little better. I know I uploaded a not very good video. I mean, you can see what's going on in it and stuff, but I just didn't give any descriptions or nothing. It was just something that I didn't really even plan on putting on YouTube about nose jammer. I had some does and stuff walking around. This stuff is great. I used it I started using it back in bow season, and I bought it just to try it out. I've used all kinds of other stuff, and I bought it, and I said, well, I'll give it a shot and see how it all turns out with it, if it works, if it doesn't work. So I got it, and I read the can. It has directions on the back here if you want to spot and stalk, if you're using it in a blind, or if you're using it in a tree stand, or whatever you want to do, and it tells you what to do. Some of it might just be something as simple as you spray it on your legs and feet. That's what the directions are for sitting in a stand. Um, so I bought some to use it, and the first day that I used it, I had it just blew my mind. I was in the stand and I hear this crunch, and I turn around and it's a spike buck, older spike buck, and he's walking right down the path that I walked right to my stand, smelling the ground. And I was like, this is wild. And I started to pay more and more close attention to it every time, watching deer and the way that they reacted. And 9 times out of 10, the deer would come right down the path that I would walk. The video that I've already put on here with the does walking around, they were all right on top of where I walked to come to that stand. This stuff kind of's got, like, I think it's like a vanilla smell, something in it sweet, and I think it draws the deer. Which I have heard that once you use this, you can't use it for too long, and I imagine if you get busted by a buck or something like that with using this, he's probably going to associate that smell to you, so you probably won't be able to use it again. But if you use it proper and you don't mess up when he comes in and you get the shot or whatever it is, this stuff is just awesome. You don't. It doesn't take much to use. You just spray a little bit on you. I've had this can for, I don't know. I've had it since muzzleloader season. It's late rifle season now, so I'd say close to a month almost. Um, I don't really use it that much anymore, just because it's rifle season and I've got the PRC and some stuff that I want to take some longer shots on stuff. So I'm not really too worried about being busted. Plus, my book tags are filled. So, but this stuff, hands down, it's definitely a winner. I've used, I've used it all. I've used everything you can think of. The soaps, I've got the body washes, I've got the fabric softener sheets, and the laundry detergent, and the sprays, and all that. And I really don't think anything really works. And I think what they did with this was a pretty genius idea. Instead of trying to get rid of scent, I think they hide your scent with a different scent that's appealing to the deer. And man, I just killed my last buck. I think it was 2 weeks ago, and I came in this spot, and it was a really hard spot to hunt. I wasn't set up to hunt there. It was property. I didn't even think there was much really there. And I hurried up and went in, put a climber stand up in this little raggedy tree. I could only get up about 5.5, 6 feet in the air, because any higher than that, I didn't have any shooting lanes cut or nothing. It was just so thick a brush above me. And then below me, up to about 4.5 to 6 feet, was, thorns and briars and all these patches of stuff. But there was, just loads of trails and little areas. So I figured if I could get up high enough, I could get a little bit of range of sight. So I go up in this tree, and of course I sprayed this all over myself because the wind was wrong. I probably, well, I'm not going to say I shouldn't have hunted the spot, because I did come out with the deer, but the wind was at my back, blowing right into the woods where I was assuming the deer would be coming from. But it was close by home, easy place to hunt, so I just did it, just basically get out of the house and go sit in the woods. I go out there, and I have this little 8-point buck come out, and he's grazing on briars, and so he comes out of the brush in front of me. And this deer, no joke, is about 7 yards away. I mean, he was so close. When I would look side to side, he would stop and pause and look at me because he could see my eyes move. So I'm sitting there, and sure enough, out in the distance, I see a rat come through some of the brush way back there. And then I'm like, what am I going to do now? I got my gun rested sideways, and I can't move at all because I'm pinned. And I said, this buck's going to come all the way up here, and I'm not even going to be able to get a shot on him. So I'm sitting there and I'm watching, and sure enough, he's smelling the air, and I'm waiting for any minute to get busted. And I see a doe come out, and he's following this doe, and the doe's coming up, and I was like, well, maybe this is my chance. And this doe will take the attention from this little 8-pointer long enough that I can get my gun set up. And sure enough, that's what I did, and that the 10-pointer came all the way into about, I would say about 20 yards. And I mean, he knew something was up. I could see him looking and watching, and he could see me, but he couldn't really quite pin me out. And I was able, he started to walk away with the 8-pointer, and they all kind of started to walk off, and I was able to get my gun up and take a shot, and I was blessed to drop him. But I don't think that it would have happened without this. I think I would have been busted right away, because he came in. By the time I seen him, he was 100 yards. Those deer can smell you way farther than that, and so this was definitely a big part of the reason that I'm putting one on the wall this year. So I just figured I'd give it a little review, a little bit, be a little more thorough with it instead of just a video of some deer wandering around on the ground. I gave a little shot of it. I had a little tiny bit in the can left. I gave it to a buddy. I gave it to him. He's been hunting his whole life. He's, I think, 63, 64 years old. And the first thing he said, I said, "Did you try it nose jam?" He said, "That shit works." We're on our way out on the boat in the morning. I said, "I know." I said, it's crazy. I said, "It draws them." I said, almost all the deer I see come right in on my trail where I've walked. Smelling the ground. He said the same thing. He said, I had a buck come in, and it knew something wasn't right, but it kept him at ease. He didn't stomp or blow or take off or anything. He just kind of was a little cautious around the area, but he kept about his business. So you guys want a little something to try out, I definitely suggest trying this out. As you can see, I'm definitely not sponsored by anybody. They didn't tell me to tell you how great it was. It's just something that I bumped into, and maybe it can save somebody a lot of money trying all sorts of things to see which ones work. I don't even know how much money I've probably spent on trying stuff over the years, but I'll have more of this again next year. I'll use this again next year for sure. But I'd like to thank you guys. Please like and subscribe, so that way, maybe I can get some better stuff going on around here. I'll get a shed or something, build a little office, and start doing some proper videos with a little better footage and stuff like that. I'm going to do some hunting videos and stuff here soon too. I got some cool stuff. But yeah, keep coming back. This is a blue collar channel. For the working man that has to work hard and can't afford all the high dollar expensive stuff, or wants to know something before they go spending money on something that might not work, or whatever it could be. So God bless y'all. Like and subscribe my channel, and come back for more stuff. Thank you very much.